What's up, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started. We're going to talk this post game. We're going to talk about this Titan victory over the Indianapolis Colts, a big victory. And they're definitely getting to 2-2 on the year. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of these second half woes that continue to plague this Tennessee Titans team going forward. But we're definitely going to get into that and more in the next 60 seconds, and we get ready for TNT post game. So here we go.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody?
What's going on, everybody out there, Titan Nation? What's up with you? Welcome into TNT post game. I'm your man, Chris, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And we are going to have a very good episode tonight. We're going to go ahead and recap this great game. Well, I don't know if I'll call it necessarily great, but hey, we'll take the win. Y'all excuse me. Had to pick up something that dropped. But we're going to talk about this game that definitely went down. So first and foremost, everybody, make sure y'all share the show out. You can see all the pages. Excuse me. On Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Make sure you follow those channels if you haven't already. Also, definitely give this show a like if you haven't already. Definitely give that a like. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And hit the bell so that you get all the notifications whenever I do go live. That way you know what's going on. But definitely go ahead and come on in as we get ready to talk about this Titans win as they did defeat the Indianapolis Colts 24-17 to get to 2-2 on the year. I see Pig Wickle in here. Yeah, Miss Mims is in here. Who run it? We run it. We sure do. It is definitely a victory Monday, and we are going to definitely enjoy talking about it. So I know more of you are going to be coming on in just a bit as well. And also, if you want some Titans and Truth swag, definitely hit me up about that. I'll definitely be glad to get with you on that. Or I can definitely get you in touch with Miss Latoya. She can help make some good shirts for you. And also, if you want a Titans and Truth hat, hit up my guy Out the Crib Customs. You're supporting them, you're supporting the channel, you're supporting me. So I definitely do appreciate that. And I had to put this score up because it is indeed nice to have that up there. But yes, the Tennessee Titans defeat the Colts 24-17, improved to 2-2 on the year. They dig themselves out of that 0-2 hole that they started off in and are now back at 500 and squarely back at square one. But as you can see, there are the stats at the bottom. There's a lot to really go into that happened in this game. Again, offensively, offensively, you have the great start in the first half, just like all the other games, minus the Bills game. I mean, for the fourth straight game, they score on their opening drive. And for the second straight game, they get out to a 24-10 lead early. Derrick Henry was running well, had 99 yards in the first half, and was really being effective. They went to Robert Woods early. He got his first touchdown as a Titan. And then also Chig Okonkwo getting his first career touchdown as well. Had a couple of nice catches. Derrick, as always, I appreciate your support. Thank you for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that so very much. with that. But he's like, you already know, and I do definitely. And I will be definitely debuting something new on Wednesday as we get ready to talk about the Washington Commanders because that's the next opponent up. That's the next team we have to play. Always love a good Arnold Palmer. So this was an interesting game. Again, it was another tale of two halves that definitely happened. And we're going to get into the good, the bad, and the awful later on in the show. Pig Wiggle said, let me find out we don't score in the second half next game. I mean, it ain't no telling. It ain't no telling. First half looked really good. I mean, we kept Matt Ryan at bay and everything. And overall, the Titans did a fantastic job in run defense on Jonathan Taylor. I will say that. Excellent job by the run defense. No doubt about that. And so going in, you get points on pretty much every drive. The first drive was a touchdown off of a turnover. Because the defense gets a fumble. I believe it was a sack by Danico Autry, and then Bud Dupree recovers the fumble. That led to the first touchdown, which was to Robert Woods. Then you get Tier Tart. You get Tier Tart getting the interception, and that was a big boy interception. I definitely enjoyed that. That was a big boy play right there. And then, excuse me, and then Derrick Henry did what he does as usual. And, probably should have had 2 touchdowns in this game if it wasn't called back for a just absolutely ridiculous holding call against Traylon Burks. I thought that was a dumb, bad call by the refs there. They could have let that go. But they ended up scoring anyway with that. So everything was starting to look good until about, I would say, the last 30 seconds of the first half. And then after that, that's kind of where things went to hell because bad clock management, both by Vrabel and bad job by Tannehill, because you got to know you don't have any timeouts left. You got 19 seconds. You get flushed out of the pocket, but instead of you throwing the ball away or throwing the ball past the first down marker, he tried to run, was short on third down. And then, of course, the field goal team had to quickly run onto the field, which they should have been prepared for that anyway, just in case that does happen, to get ready to kick the field goal. And so they did not get out there quick enough and went into the first half. So that's 3 points that we end up losing in that situation. So I thought first half was pretty good on the offensive side. Then the second half, as usual, the Titans completely fell asleep. The Colts made some adjustments, something that the Titans did not do well again. And the Colts were able to find their way back into the game. First drive the Colts have, first drive the Titans have, they start off with, I believe, a false start penalty. Then they get sacked. And then, you get backed up all the way. Well, no, I take it back. It was like a run to Derrick Henry, didn't pick up much. Then it was a false start. Then it was a sack. And then after a quick little pass to Dontrell Hilliard, they got to punt the football. So, again, the second half woes started. And then the Colts pick up offensively. Matt Ryan was just throwing dimes all over the place, and we couldn't stop him. And that's some of the issue that I had. I mean, especially across the middle of the field was where we were just getting baked. There were some times, even in the first half, you had 3rd and 12s, you had 3rd and 8s, and they were converting them. And I'm thinking, is this remnants of the 2020 defense that couldn't stop nobody on third down? I mean, what was going on here? And so that was something that just had me concerned and upset. We didn't really get a lot of pressure in the second half. And I mean, we, got some timely turnovers when we needed to and everything. But, and I'll get to the defense in a second. I'm kind of going off kilter a little bit. But offensively, just completely fell asleep. I mean, could not do a thing. Tannehill did not target Robert Woods at all. They still won't go to Austin Hooper for some reason. Excuse me. And then, you have the injury to Traylon Burks, which, I thought when that happened, it was a horrific injury because Burks makes the catch, gets, I believe, a first down, and then was slow to get up, tried to get up and tried to tough it out, but you could tell there was a limp. And, he was trying to get off the field, but then he stayed in the huddle and, tried to go through it, but that's delicious. But then you could tell he was hurt. And then, got carted off to the locker room. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, is this like a torn ACL or just something that's going to keep him out the whole season? Thank God the reports coming from Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero is that it's a turf toe, and he's going to miss multiple weeks. We don't know how many weeks he's going to be out. He will miss some time, but it looks like it doesn't require surgery. So it does look like Burks will return at some point this season. But, man, that just adds another blow to an already depleted offense. And, I mean, you're already not getting a lot of good stuff going in your passing game anyway. You lose your first-round pick who could be a weapon for you. It's like, where are you going to go? So that's the thing that I struggle with. But, I mean, through it all, Derrick Henry still made some nice timely runs. They got a nice pass in the fourth quarter to Chigakonkwo to salt the game away, and the Titans escape with a 24-17 win. And, defensively, again, the front four, I think, did a very nice job of getting some pressure on Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan was getting the ball out quicker. And when he did have time, I mean, he was throwing it across the middle. There were guys getting open in the zone and things like that. So I don't know, again, what adjustments were being made. They weren't good enough. That much is, an understatement. So I just, it's a lot of internal problems really on both sides of the ball that they need to really figure out. This whole second half thing, they really need to figure that out, and they need to figure it out fast. Let's see. Yeah, we are tied with the Jags for the division lead. According to the Jags have a better conference record, which is why they're ahead of us right now. But if we do continue to win, then we can get there. Derrick Henry got 7,000 rushing yards. Yep. Pig Wiggles said we got to get Bobby Trees involved more. And, I mean, again, they did not go to him in the second half, which I thought was horrific, and I thought that was coaching malpractice. I'm like, you gotta keep your players involved, keep them engaged. If you see something's not working and you see some adjustments being made, you gotta adjust to the adjustment. And they are just not doing very well on that. And Ms. Mims, you're right. They gotta play all four quarters. I mean, a lot of people are thinking, oh yeah, they got the Commanders next week. They should win that game. But if you play that second half again against the Commanders, even though they are not that good of a football team, any team can beat you. So you got to get better in the second half. And CJ, this is a good question. Usually a second half team, but now switch. What would you prefer, being up early and holding on, or chasing and winning? I mean, now don't get me wrong. I prefer to play from ahead than from behind. And I know a win, I've said it before, a win's a win. And I accept that. I am happy that we won, but I am not a fan of just having to hold on like that when you have a chance to really blow this game open. We really should have won this game like 34-13 or 35-17. That's what it really should have been. And we just struggle with that. Titan Anderson, what's up, man? Welcome in. Chig. I know that's right. And I'm hoping this leads to them using Chig more. Because, I mean, Chig had a good game. As y'all can see, he had 3 catches, 38 yards, and that touchdown with the leading receiver. Do you think the Titans will be a playoff contender? They definitely are in the contention for the division. Now, I don't know about a wild card, but I mean, I believe Austin brought this up on A to Z Sports. If the season ended today, the Titans would be the 7th seed. So they would have just barely got in. But you want to win the division. That's the easiest way to get into the playoffs. So the Titans get the win despite just the horrific non-adjustments made by the coaching staff. And so, I just thought there were, again, there were some good things and there were some not so good things. And it's better to talk about the not so good things after a win than after a loss. So that's kind of what I get my feelings on with that. But let's get to the good, the bad, and the awful. And I want y'all to let me know what y'all think. What was y'all good? What was y'all bad? What was y'all awful? And there was a comment I want to get to. Timothy Becker says, who is your maniac player of the game? Now, I will let y'all know who the two-tone blue star of the game and who the dunce of the day is on Wednesday. Definitely get your thoughts. Prepare for that show. Excuse me. And then we'll definitely talk about that as far as who is the star of the week and who is the dunce of the day. So definitely get your thoughts on that as we get closer to Wednesday. Derek says, do we need to go get a free agent wide receiver? Wouldn't be a bad idea. The only problem is they don't throw the ball enough. So, I mean, who are we going to get that's going to come in that they're going to be like, you know what, we'll throw the ball to this guy. Because like with Robert Woods, got it to him early, but won't go to him late. Burks, rarely got him involved. They won't throw to Austin Hooper for some stupid reason. And I like to thank God they didn't try to keep feeding Jeff Swain, which they still have a infatuation over. So, the Memphis said the kid from OSU got to get himself together, stop at all the penalties. I mean, you got to think with Nicholas Petit-Frere. I think Nicholas Petit-Frere has done a very solid job so far. Every offensive lineman has penalties. And yes, the penalties do need to not happen at the worst times, but I'm not going to get too bad on Nicholas Petit-Frere because I do think in the grand scheme of things, I think the offensive line is slowly starting to get better. And that's something that I am noticing. They are starting to get better. Evidence of the running game actually getting going. And so, again, let's get to the good, the bad, and the awful. The good. Once again, good job offensively in the first half. Was doing very well offensively. The run defense was outstanding. Holding Jonathan Taylor, who was the rushing champ by default, only had 42 yards on 20 carries. That's incredible. That is literally just slightly over 2 yards a carry. That is an excellent job by the Tennessee Titan defense. And then Tier Tart, that big boy interception. The turnovers were great because I believe we caused 3 turnovers in the game. We nearly had a fourth if Mario Edwards just falls on the ball instead of them trying to pick it up and run. You just fall on the ball, get the ball back to the offense. That's what you should do. But I'm not going to complain a lot on the turnover because we did cause quite a few. But Tierra Tart, that big boy interception was incredible. So I definitely did like that with the good on that. Kyle Phillips is going to have to play now. And I don't know why Phillips is not involved. I mean, that is an excellent question as well. I don't know why they don't have Phillips involved more. I don't understand the logic of the personnel groupings and things like that. I really don't get it. Alex Mann says, I'm sick and tired of heart attack games. I just want to chill and watch this team play a full game. I think we all do, Alex. We all do. No doubt about it. The bad pass coverage in the middle of the field. We were getting torched in the middle of the field. I mean, Matt Ryan, we held him to under like 150 yards in the first half, and in the second half, he just goes off. Got through for 356 in this game. Mo Alley Cox getting 2 touchdowns. So I did not like the pass coverage overall. I know we were missing some guys. I know we were missing Amani Hooker in this game, Elijah Molden. We don't know if he's coming back. Amani Hooker is still in concussion protocol. Hopefully, he comes out of that and is able to play against Washington. So that's going to be a good question there going forward. And then the Burks injury, I'm definitely concerned about. I mean, again, thank God it is not season ending, but the fact that he's going to be out multiple weeks, it does hurt a already hurting offense as it is. So it really doesn't help us. It hurts us even more. And then last drive of the first half, we already talked about that, where you had 19 seconds, you had a chance to get 3 more points, and it was bad clock management by Vrabel, bad decision by Tannehill to run there instead of just throwing the ball away and then kick the field goal, and you go up 27-10. So, that's what I have to say about that. Let's see. Ms. Mim says the good was Henry and Woods made the touchdown, intercepted the ball. Bad was the offense. Awful, they were not scoring enough points. And we'll definitely talk about that. And I'm with Derek. Y'all, everybody that is watching this show right now, smash that like button. You should. Smash that like button. And I'll get that. So, smash that like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I am right at 1,200 subscribers. I need to get to 1,200. If you haven't subscribed, get in there and subscribe to this channel. But now the awful. And this is pretty much evident. The second half woes. Mainly offensively, but we had some issues defensively as well. But we're mainly going to talk about the offense. CJ says, rookies aren't going to be perfect. I'll let some stuff slide. I mean, yes. Some things, you can let slide. But, I mean, again, the rookies have to play well, too. We can't keep letting it slide. But I think all in all, Chig is coming along finally. Nicholas Petit-Ferrer's been doing well. Roger McCreary played a nice game also. So, I mean, there's a lot of good with the rookies, but the second half woes are just pitiful. AZ Mix says, Caleb Farley needs help. He needs reps. And I was very glad to see that he was at least getting some reps. I mean, I know it wasn't great. He had some bad plays. He gave up a big long play to Alec Pierce, I don't know if he was just trying to track the ball and he got, lost it in the sun. I don't know if it was like he was in coverage and then he kind of, when Alec Pierce kind of stopped and went up for the ball, I think Farley slipped a little bit. So I don't know exactly. I'm going to go back and take a look at that. But Farley needs reps, and I think he'll get better with reps. So I was just glad to see him at least getting some reps in the game. So I think that was a very good thing. But these second half offensive woes have got to stop because it's becoming a trend now. I mean, you're getting outscored 64-7 in the second half. Let me say that one more time. I'm actually going to create a thing for it. But this is not good. You're getting outscored 64-7 in the second half. You're going to allow teams to hang around when you should put your foot on their throat and choke them out. And if luckily enough, we're playing against some bad football teams right now, besides Buffalo. And I know a lot of people will say, well, we're a missed Randy Bullock field goal away from being 3-1. We're also a second half collapse in this game. We could have been 1-3. We are thank God we, stopped the 2-point conversion. We could be 1-3 right now. So you got to think about that. But the fact is, I don't know what is happening between when you go into the locker room to end the first half and when you come out in the second half, it's like they forget what to do. Teams are going to adjust to you. You've got to make some adjustments too, to where it's like, what, we did these things well. Let's expound on that. Or, hey, this play didn't go so well. Here's the adjustment we need to make. And that can happen on both sides of the ball because the Colts' defensive intensity definitely picked up. They were getting much more pressure, and they got to Tannehill a few times. And we made things look very predictable yet again. So they really need to clean that up. Because it's becoming a trend, and I think it's not really. A lot of people will say it's a talent problem. They got to execute. Yes, it is. Yes, they do have to execute. But at the same time, if this thing keep happening again, then you got to look at the coaches like, what the hell are y'all telling the players at halftime? What are you telling them? Because obviously, whatever plan you have coming out for the second half, you're not adjusting well. It's like instead of playing to win, you're trying to play not to lose. You figure, we're up 2 touchdowns. They shouldn't be able to come back from that. We're good. We'll just, sit on it and try to run this clock out, and we'll play not to lose. And whenever you do that, that is when you lose. So, the offense better thank the defense for, I think they got a timely turnover, and, they were able to salt the game away at the end and a missed field goal by McLaughlin that would have made it 24-20 and would have made it a lot more interesting. So I don't like these second half woes that we're having to deal with. And again, this I think becoming a coaching problem. And, and one thing that I did appreciate was that after the game, Derrick Henry did an interview. And he basically said, hey, I'm glad we won and all, but I'm pissed off we couldn't put a drive together and score some points in the second half. We got to hold each other accountable. He's angry. He was upset that they did not, get anything going in the second half like they should. And I appreciate that. I like that mindset. As opposed to Mike Vrabel's mindset, where Teron Davenport, my guy TD, was kind of asking about, he was opening the press conference like, hey, what's going on with the second half? Why can't y'all seem to get something going in the second half? And then Vrabel basically cuts him off, saying, hey, 24-17, we won. Let's celebrate the fact that we won the game. It's like he just brushed it off like what happened in the second half, that was nothing. Hey, we won. And again, I'm getting sick and tired of Vrabel's ego. And AZ Big's like, they're not telling him nothing, and that's the problem. And Derek knows the problem. And and again, Vrabel just shrugged it off like it was nothing. Like, yeah, let's celebrate this victory. Let's celebrate. We won. And I get it. It is hard to win in this league. And any victory is a good victory. However, whenever they say there's a such thing as bad losses, there are also such things as bad wins. And I think this could kind of count as a bad win. Just like that game against Cleveland some years ago, where we won 9-6 and we couldn't score a touchdown to save our life, but Byard gave us 3 interceptions. I counted that as a bad win. This was a bad win. Even though it was a division win, and that's a good thing, but I just think Vrabel, is getting way ahead of himself, and is just, again, his arrogance could destroy this football team. And then Mims asking, why can't we be undefeated? I mean, nobody's going to go undefeated. Nobody's went undefeated since 1972 when the Dolphins won the Super Bowl. Yes, the Patriots went undefeated, but they lost the one game that mattered the most. That arrogant mindset, acting like there's no problem. Plausible deniability is a problem. Denial is, one of the stages of grief. One of the stages of grief is denial. And when you see that there's a problem, and and everybody else sees there's a problem, but you keep denying that there's a problem, that's an even bigger problem. So again, I can't blame the players anymore, because Vrabel's used that excuse already a couple of years ago and even last year. He kept saying, well, it was the players' fault, not the coaching fault. But now we're seeing this. It ain't the players' fault anymore. Yes, they have to execute, but now it's on the coaches. It's the coach's fault. It's on Vrabel. It's on Downing. I'll even include Tim Kelly in this because, hey, he's on the staff. This is a coaching problem. Because how you have your team ready to start the game, but you don't have your team ready to come out in the second half? It's like they forget there's 2 halves to a game, 4 quarters. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. His arrogance could destroy the football team because he thinks he knows everything. And that's, what's happening in the second half is absolutely unacceptable. And Vrabel deserves a lot of blame for that. So, TNT post game is continuing. That was pretty much my good, bad, and awful. They really need to fix that. I mean, you script drives to start the game. You might as well script drive to start the third quarter. But you have to understand that your opponent is going to adjust and bring out some different things. And Tannehill has to see that. And if he sees something like, oh, God, we need to check out of this, you can audible. And a lot of people are thinking it's a coaching problem. Pinball says he thinks he's Belichick. And he speaks fluent Belichickian. No denying that. We all know that. Fluent Belichickian. But it's that type of style that might get him beat. So I was very dissatisfied with the second half. It's like we're holding on by a thread. And the Titans forgot that there was a second half to be played. So if it wasn't for Matt Ryan fumbling the ball and then Jonathan Taylor fumbles the ball late in the game, and that's what kind of helped seal the game away. So I think defensively there are some things we're getting better at. I think the offensive line is getting better, but the coaching needs to fix this. And now we got to see what we got to do. I know Bud Dupree left the game with a little bit of an injury, got nipped up a little bit. Burks is out for a while. So we really don't know what's up with injuries. Amani Hooker is in concussion protocol. They're hoping to get Monty Rice back practicing this week, seeing if he could possibly return. And well, thank God for this game coming up. We don't have Booger. Land Clark, I don't know who that is the referee for Sunday's game. But let's again focus on the positives. Derrick Henry, first 100-yard rushing game of the year. And got over 7,000 career rushing yards. Robert Woods and Chigakonkwo get their first TDs as Titans. Ryan Stonehouse, I agree, is kicking the crap out of that football. Zari said we need a Josh Reynolds type player. Here's the thing. We had Josh Reynolds, but they let him go. And I agree with that too. I mean, don't get me wrong. And I know a certain somebody out there, Chris Frazier, loves him some Ryan Tannehill, but he didn't do well in the second half, although he did decent in the first half. And quit calling Burks a bust because they haven't used him enough yet. And now he's hurt. You're acting, and don't act like A.J. Brown hasn't been hurt. A.J. Brown was hurt a lot for us too. Yes, he produced. I give you that. And I am still under the belief they should not have traded A.J. Brown. I agree with that. But we have to move on. We just got to move on. But that A.J. Brown trade is kind of biting us in the butt right now. I definitely agree on that. But, hey, we got the win. We're 2-2. We're back at square one. We're at 500. And we move on and get ready for the Commanders this Sunday. So I'm definitely very happy that we got the win. And, I'm very glad that we got the win. And we'll move on. It's a division win. And now the Colts are 0-2-1 in the division. Because they tied with the Texans, lost to the Jags and to us. And the Jags lost to the Eagles yesterday as well. So that helps us out. We have a tie for the division lead with the Jags. And so, we got Washington and we got a bye week coming up. So we got a lot to look forward to. So Wednesday, we're definitely going to get into the Commanders. Again, we will announce the two-tone blue star of the week and the dunce of the day as well. And also start preparing your questions for Pick My Brain as we get ready. It will be ladies' night. I'm hoping to have a couple of cancer survivors on the show to join me and tell their story as far as getting, beating cancer and getting, excuse me, through that. But again, glad we got this win. Although I'm sick and tired of Vrabel, giving. I mean, like he mentioned about Nick Westbrook-Akina saying, "Well, I know he didn't have no catches, but he sure did do a great job blocking." I have never heard of a coach talk so much about glowingly about a wide receiver blocking. I have never heard a coach talk so glowingly about that. Like it's the best thing ever. Like he's like, you know what? We have some of the best wide receivers in the world because they can block. And then he also, of course, said, well, we have everything we need to replace Treylon Burks. No, the hell you don't. I commented on that because I think Paul Kaharski put that out. And I tweeted with a gif of Maury Povich on there. And I was like, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. So, we can't replace Burks right now because our passing game is already bad as it is. What are we going to do? Start throwing the ball to Nick Westbrook-Akina a whole bunch more? Nick Westbrook-Akina is not a number 2 or number 1. We know that. So, again, I ain't going to talk about no more of Vrabel's arrogance, which ticks me off. Again, we got the win. We will celebrate that, even though I'm not really happy about it. And we'll get ready Wednesday for Washington. So, y'all, let me know what y'all think of the show. Again, make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button as well. And all of this will be out on all the podcast channels where you can get it: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I'm gonna put this out and also the live stream of the game as well. So that's gonna be coming up. But Wednesday we'll get into we'll definitely get into the Commanders. We're definitely gonna talk about that. AZ Big said we gotta get Hooper much more involved. I agree. Isaiah says Green Bay should be our next loss. I don't know that. I mean, we could lose to the Commanders next week. I hope we don't. But we'll definitely have to see about that. But William Jones, what's up with you, man? Glad you made it in. But I think that's going to just about do it for this show. We will definitely talk some more and close the book on this game on Wednesday and head towards the Commanders again on Ladies' Night. So if you know any female football fans or female Titan fans, let them know that this show is coming up. And so that way they can be a part of this too. And as I like to say, Titans win! Oh, Titans win! And they get to 2-2. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. And if you've missed anything, head back and rewatch the show. And we will definitely talk about that and everything. So thank y'all for tuning into the show. I hope everybody has a good rest of your Monday night. And also remember, I am going to be doing a Truth League report coming up. We'll definitely talk about the rest of week 4. I know the Rams and 49ers are about to play right now. We'll definitely talk about some of my favorite games from the weekend and my top ballers. So definitely stay tuned for that. It'll be coming out at some point. But thank you guys. Y'all have a great rest of the night. And let's all tighten up because that's all we know how to do.